Welcome to Unlocking Your Truth, another podcast by Dr. Lesley Phillips.
Hello everybody, welcome to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Lesley. Well, I was thinking about what should we talk about today on the car on the way here, and I decided that we should talk about the Earth. We should talk about our planet and maybe even do a little healing meditation to assist our planet. I was teaching a retreat on Sunday, and I was teaching the class how to access their higher information through their crown chakra. That was the subject of the retreat. But as part of what we were doing, I said, well, give me a list of questions for us to work with. And then we will all ask these questions together and access our higher wisdom about, to get some information. And the majority of the questions that people wanted to ask and wanted to reflect on was the planet. They were all concerned that we have taken the planet to a point of no return. And they were all wanting to know what's going to happen. Is our planet going to die? Is all lost? And so I thought, gosh, this is something that really is at the forefront of people's minds. So many of us are concerned about it, and so many of us don't really know what we can do about it. So that's what made me think that would be a good conversation to have.
I don't think the planet's going to die. I just think that, man may become an endangered species.
Yeah, I know. I always think that, I think our life it's so fragile. From a couple of perspectives, the Earth just needs to shrug her shoulders a little bit and we'd be gone. Just this week, we've had a massive earthquake in Ecuador, and I think it was 8.3, or it was 8 at least. And we had, before that, a series of massive earthquakes in Japan, And so it doesn't take much to throw us into chaos. It really doesn't.
But not to worry, because life goes on eternally.
But so what can we do? We tend to think about what can we do in terms of, well, let's do recycling, and maybe let's change our eating patterns, and let's plant some trees, and
let's walk somewhere or take a
lose
bicycle.
Public transport. But what can we do from a spiritual perspective? What can we do from a spiritual perspective? And I guess there's a couple of things here. One is through meditation that you can connect with your own higher information about yourself, about your relationship with the planet, about how you want to cultivate that relationship with the planet, and what your place here is. But the other thing is that through meditation and our intention and working with energy, we can send healing to the planet. And we can send the intention of recovery, we can send the intention of abundance, and we can even send the intention that a sufficient number of human beings will shift their consciousness so that we can turn around the environmental issues that we are facing.
I think that's the key. Healing the planet will actually heal itself. If we stop doing what we're doing to it, I think we need to focus our energy, our healing energy, on those people who make those decisions.
Actually, that's a good point. The planet will heal itself. The planet is an amazing being that is very powerful and knows how to be in balance. So, really part of this is about us making a shift so that we can continue to be partners in this world with the planet. So I thought perhaps we'd do a little meditation for 5 minutes just to send some loving and healing energy to the planet. Of course, if you're driving, you might not want to join in with this, but if you're sitting at home somewhere comfortable where you feel comfortable that you can close your eyes and relax, then you may want to join in. So let's do it. Let's have a little preview of meditating on the earth. And don't forget, you can come and see us on Saturday in Maple Ridge. So, what I would encourage you to do is sit with your feet flat on the floor, your hands resting in your lap, and take a nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out, and another nice deep breath in and another nice deep breath out. And then tune in to an energy center that exists near the base of your spine. Become consciously aware of this energy center because it contains your information about how to survive on this earth in harmony and balance with the planet. This energy system is called your first chakra. It's got your spiritual information about how to be here, how to be alive in a body, how to survive in a body, and how to do it in a way that is, like I said, in harmony and in balance with this world. And so what you're going to do is just create a flow of energy that goes from that energy center to the center of the earth. And you can just allow it to just flow effortlessly through the chair that you're sitting in, through the floor of the room, through all the layers of the planet, until it reaches the very center of the earth. So anchor yourself, anchor your consciousness, anchor yourself here on earth. Allow this energy cord to bring you into your body, to focus your attention on yourself and on your larger body, planet Earth. Because you are a cell on this planet, right? You are of this planet. And what you can do is you can release energy down this grounding cord to the center of the earth, and the center of the earth will work with you to transform the energy that you are letting go into something positive and useful. So if you have anything in your system right now which requires healing, you know, whether it's some personal struggles or whether it's just getting clear about what you'd like to do to assist this earth as part of your daily life, you can let go of the limits and the blocks down your grounding, and the earth will work with you to transform those limits and blocks. So do that now. And then what you can do is be aware of energy centers that exist in the arches of your feet. The energy centers in the arches of your feet are portals for you to breathe in the energy of planet Earth into your energy field and into your body. So what you can do is you can allow these energy centers to gently open and relax, kind of like flowers opening to the sun. And then as you breathe in the earth energy. Consciously breathe in the earth energy through your feet chakras. And really feel that earth energy pouring in through your feet. And then allow it to flow up channels that exist in your legs. Allow that powerful earth energy, that healing earth energy, that energy that knows all about how to be in balance. Allow that to flow up your legs, past your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, and into that energy center near the base of your spine. And then allow some of that earth energy to just continue down that grounding cord that you created a moment ago, so that it strengthens and enhances that grounding. So now you have a loop of energy. You're releasing energy from near the base of your spine and sending it to the center of the earth. You can send all unwanted and unhelpful energies to the center of the earth for them to be recycled. And then you can breathe in fresh, clean, neutral earth energy through the arches of your feet and flow that earth energy up your leg channels, into your first chakra near the base of your spine and down your grounding. So just experience that flow of earth energy now. And of course, you can use that earth energy to help you to heal yourself. So it will melt away any blockages and help you to release those blockages down your grounding. And it will also automatically just help you to come into balance, to come into harmony within yourself and in your relationship to the earth. And then I'll just also get you to just focus your conscious awareness in the center of your head. Be grounded, be connected to the planet, be consciously flowing the earth energy through your system, and sit in the center of your head. And from the center of your head, allow yourself to become aware of the planetary logos. That's the soul, the spirit of the planet. Some call her Gaia. So allow yourself from the center of your head to communicate with Gaia. Talk to her. Talk to her about how she's doing. Talk to her about how we're doing. Talk to her about what you can do to help. You may get some information in the form of pictures. You may get some information in the form of some words. You may simply just know some information. But just allow it to come to you. Allow the planet to speak to you. And then just allow yourself to open your heart. Fill your heart with love. Open your heart so wide and fill it with so much love that the love is just pouring out of you. It's just radiating from your heart all around you, surrounding you with this bright, high vibration of love. And then send that vibration of love out 360 degrees around you. Send that vibration of love so that it's a bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger bubble of love until you have surrounded your neighborhood, until you have surrounded your city, until you have surrounded the province that you're living in, or the state, and then the country. And just basically keep expanding that bubble of love, that love that you are sending from your soul, from your source. Keep expanding it until it is flowing through the entire planet, until you are sending love and light into this earth. So the planet is giving you a healing. By taking in that earth energy and by releasing energy to the center of the earth, the planet is giving you a healing. And by channeling your love from source throughout the entire planet, you are reciprocating and giving some healing to the planet. So, if you like, you can sit and enjoy this meditation for a few more minutes. You might want to turn your volume slightly down because I am about to go to the adverts. So, if you can, the adverts, is that too British? What do we call them here? Ads. We're going to the ads now, guys, so you can come out of your meditation. today we've been talking about the earth and healing the earth, and we did a little meditation to do that. But now's the time in the show when it's all about you, listeners. You can phone us up and ask a question. You can phone us up and share your opinion or information or insights about what we've already been talking about, or about something else completely different. And we monitor the emails as well, so if you're a little bit shy, you can send a message to info@drlesleyphillips.com. That's Lesley with an EY and Phillips with 2 L's. So, Corey, we do have some email questions already, don't we?
Yep. We have one from Jane. Jane wants to know, why can't Corey talk about pizza?
Because the show isn't about pizza, Jane. I don't know why he's got this running joke with himself, listeners. If you listen in regularly, you for some reason, he wants to talk about pizza.
Anyway, the first question is from Joanne, and she's from France.
Isn't that fantastic? We've got international listeners. Well, we've got people in the States for sure. I know that.
This is European.
Yeah, European. That's way to go.
Joanne wants to know, you want me to do it in French or English?
Both. I can't answer in French, though.
What is blocking me from opening my third eye? Thank you.
That's a great question, isn't it? And before I read that for Joanne, read as in give an interpretation, give us some information, or just say that, for most people, the common blocks can be too much in your intellect. Too trained in your intellect and putting effort into it. Another thing can be just having preconceived ideas about what it is like when your third eye is open, which may not be the same as what it actually is like when your third eye is open. And sometimes people are afraid of what they might see. They're afraid they might be responsible for something if they see it and have to act upon it or do something about it. And so those are some of the very common things that I see with people. But let's see what it is for Joanne. So give me a moment. The way that I do this is I go into a trance, a very light, self-induced, altered state of consciousness that allows me to tune out the physical dimension and tune into the spiritual dimension. So I'm going to do that now. And then I'm going to just seek out this lady's energy and take a look at what is going on with her. Well, the first thing, Joanne, is you're not actually always in your body. And of course, the position of your sixth chakra or your third eye is in the center of your forehead, which is a location in your body. And so it looks like a lot of what you're doing is out of body, ungrounded and out of body work. And so, it's possible for people to travel outside their body and to see as spirit and to have experiences and bring information back. That's one way you can do it. It's more like it's called astral travel. But if you want to access your third eye, your sixth chakra, then it's very important that you ground, just like we were doing in the meditation that we just did, because that pulls your energy into your physical body. And then the next thing is to place your conscious awareness, also like we just did, in the very center of your head, because that is the center of your sixth chakra. And that position in the center of your head, in the pineal gland, will start to activate and stimulate your third eye, as you're calling it. So number one, the main issue for you is you're not grounded. Number two is it looks like you've got some preconceived ideas about what having your third eye open is like. And let's see what else. Well, it's a pity I don't have you on the phone, because I'd ask you if you've been taking some classes and receiving some teaching from somebody, because it looks to me like you have. And it looks to me like there is a lot of competition in that class, and between students and between the teacher and the students. And so what's happening is you and perhaps some of the other students are getting invalidated, because I'm not doing it right, or I'm not doing it the way that the teacher says it's supposed to happen, or look at that other student can do it, why can't I? And so I'm just seeing that the classroom it's not a safe place. It's not sort of supporting everyone's growth, that there's some competition going on, and the competition is just breeding invalidation. And so I'm seeing that you're comparing yourself to the teacher, you're comparing yourself to the other students in the class, and it's just causing you to invalidate yourself. And so I always say to people, when they say, well, what's it like? So I say, well, I can tell you what it's like for me. It might not be like that for you, because everybody is unique. So allow your own unique experience. Allow your own unique experience. It might not be the same as the teacher. It might not be the same as the other people in the class. And, let go of comparing yourself to other people. So that's given you 3 things to work on there, Joanne. So I hope that you found that answer helpful. And I guess we'll move on to the next question.
Okay, and for something a little more local, I have a question from Mary. And Mary would like to know, I'm focusing on financial abundance, which will enable me to travel and take the courses to achieve spiritual consciousness. Am I on the right track?
So she's taking, what was the first bit? Sorry.
She says, I'm focused on financial abundance, which will enable me to travel and take the courses to achieve spiritual consciousness. Am I on the right track?
Okay. So let's see. And I'm just going to tune into this lady's energy. And I feel like I don't want to say yes or no to this, or I want to say yes and no to this. Because I'm seeing a lot of what you're doing in terms of work around setting your intention and attracting financial abundance, and getting yourself into that alignment is good. You're training yourself how to manifest, how to materialize abundance. And so it looks like maybe you've been reading some books and watching some videos and learning some techniques. And I'm seeing that's great. I'm seeing that's fabulous. At the same time, you want to get some money so that you can travel and attend spiritual courses. And this is what I see a lot of people do, is that they're sort of like, here's me where I am now, here's where I want to get, and so I need to manifest money. And it's logical and it makes sense, right? It does. However, in that equation, the money is kind of like a middleman. Why not go straight to what it is that you are wanting to manifest? What if you just go straight to, I want to travel and attend spiritual courses and expand my consciousness? Or I want to expand my consciousness in a certain way. So why not go straight to what you're asking for, and then work on having your internal vibration be at a frequency that's going to attract that you're asking for, instead of setting at a frequency to attract money so that you can then get what you're asking for. Do you see the difference, Mary? Because what you're asking for could come in any number of different ways from any number of different directions. And so by saying that it has to be by you manifesting money is limiting the channels that it can come through. It could be a gift. You could win a prize. A friend could have a spare ticket, or suddenly, have a plane ticket that they can't take on a flight, or anything could happen. Anything is possible. So don't limit yourself through the concept of money. All right, Corey, we've got time for one more, then we'll go to the ads.
Or she can just listen to the show more. Okay. Here's one from Jane, and this is this is a relatively standard question. Not standard, but will I receive a cash settlement against my former employer?
Okay. So it's standard in terms of they're asking for a future time outcome.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I always say the same thing to that, which is, you know what, the future hasn't happened yet. The future is not predetermined. What you have is where you're at in present time, and you create what then comes to you from that present moment. And so let's look at your energy in the present moment, Jane. In terms of how likely that is to lead to what you are asking for. So let's put the responsibility back fair and square at your own feet, because you create your reality. Reality is not something that happens to you, that's dealt to you from some outside force. It's you that's doing it. So you know what? If you do, you contributed to that creation, and if you don't, that's also true. So give me a moment. It says, will I receive a cash settlement from my employer? In present time, I'm seeing a couple of things. Number one is that you are in judgment of your former employer. And that judgment is setting up a kind of resistance. It's setting up a kind of barrier to receiving. So the first thing I would say is the vibration of judgment is not the same as the vibration of abundance, and it's not the same as the vibration of receiving. So number one, use the grounding technique from earlier in the show to really work on releasing your judgment of your former employer. That's the first thing. I feel like there might be something else here, though, so give me a moment. Well, you know, I guess it's related to the judgment, really. It's related to the judgment. It's just some stuff about making them pay and all of that. So I would say, let go of your judgment, move into the vibration of acceptance, move into the vibration of receiving, and actually then, you know, if you move out of the judgment in a way and into the vibration of receiving, well, maybe you'll receive from a cash settlement from your employer, maybe you'll receive something else from somewhere else, but you will have let it go. All right, so we are going to move on, and we're going to do some ads. We'll be back after the ads, listeners. The number for you to call is 604-504-7441, extension 4142. Once again, it's 604-504-7441, extension 4142. You can also email info@drlesleyphillips.com. At the beginning of the show, we were talking about our planet, our precious Earth, that I don't know about you, but I love this planet, and, you know, we want to be able to live here in harmony on a continuous basis, so we sent her some healing. Welcome back, everyone, to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Lesley. My name is Dr. Lesley Phillips, and the show producer here with me is called Corey.
One thing I want to mention about the Earth, you know, like, you know how I'm a bit of an activist in one way with the Earth. I mean, a member of the Seed Society in Maple Ridge and Getty, the Golden Years Transition Initiative. And in your community, there are there's over 1,000 transition initiatives that are actually doing something about trying to take this planet back from the disaster that it's headed towards. And, from doing something personally to doing something as a community to doing something as an as a city or municipality. So look into transition initiatives. It's really very interesting.
Thank you, Corey. Do you have another question for me?
I always have questions for you, Dr. Lesley. You know that. Mm-hmm. I would like to please know, and this is a question from Marnie, I would like to please know if I'm on the right track as I want to learn to heal my body through Reiki and other energy and spiritual methods, as I am convinced this is possible.
Well, absolutely, it is possible. So let's take a look at you, Marnie. I'm just going to go into my little trance again. And take a look at this lady I was asking the question. So, yeah. Are you on the right track? Was that the question? Is she on the right track? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks good to me. It looks like you are in the process of creating energy shifts in your energy system. And what else can I tell you? Seems like a simple yes-no answer. Let me see if I can give you some more information. One thing I might say to you, seems like this is coming up a bit tonight about people taking classes and listening to teachers and reading books and all of that. It's great. It opens you up to new stuff, it gets you started, but ultimately there's no other source of information that can possibly beat you having direct access to your own information. And so I'm seeing that this is all wonderful. It's getting you started. It's teaching you some stuff. But I'm actually seeing what you're consciously aware of now and the information that you're consciously operating from now in terms of being a healer and in terms of shifting your own reality is a fraction of what's possible. And I'm seeing for you that what could open you up to just an infinitely greater dimension of information and energy practice as a healer is learning how to turn within and tap into your own higher wisdom and your own information. Because I'm seeing you are a healer, that you have your own repository of info on this, that it's kind of like a plug and play thing, plug in and get the stream of consciousness going and running through you and then operate from your own information. And of course, learning and expanding along the way. So I'd say, yeah, you're on the right track, but don't give your seniority away to other people. Don't give your seniority away to a modality. Don't give your seniority away to a teacher. Just be constantly seeking to connect ever more deeply with your inner information. And I'm seeing that that's what was going to really open you up to the dimension of healing that is possible for you. Marvy, Corey, what's the next one?
Okay, this is an unusual question because it's from a guy, and you'll see what I mean. He just asked it in such a nice way, and don't get a lot of these. Hello, Dr. Lesley. I'm grateful for the opportunity to ask you my question. And it's Jack, by the way. I'm wondering if and how I will be able to connect with spirit or my spirit guides for help with my life and marriage.
Mm-hmm. Help with his life and his marriage. Well, let's take a look, Jack, at you. So, bear with me. I'm just going to tune into his energy. So Jack doesn't question that he has spirit guides. It just looks like he's wondering about how to communicate with them, how to start to become aware of them. It's really interesting to look at your energy, actually, because the energy center that's really lighting up the strongest is your heart center. And that's obviously it's near where the heart is. And it's the channel for your affinity and your oneness. So oneness is the interconnectedness with all other beings. And affinity is that force that sort of makes you feel passionate and drives you towards certain things. But I'm actually seeing that for you, it's like an anchor point, because you feel the love in your heart. You feel the compassion in your heart. And it's sort of like no matter what else is going on around you in your life, if you can connect with that, it's like that's your saving grace. That's the anchor in the storm. It's always there. You can rely on it. And so I'm seeing that because of that, because you've got that seniority with your heart center, that at least right now it's the easiest and fastest way for you to connect with your spirit guides. And I'm seeing that you're already sensing them through the heart chakra, because you're feeling the love that they are sending you. Part of that feeling that you have when you're in trouble, that actually it's going to be okay. Actually, I'm supported. It's coming from your guides and angels sending love, and you're able to sense it and feel it through your heart. So that's the first thing, and that maybe will just get you to realize, oh, okay, yeah, I recognize what she just said. And then let me just take a look at other ways. Well, I honestly think that's the best way for you. I could talk about grounding, as a healing mechanism, because it looks like you've stored some pain, as most of us have and do, in your physical body, and that sort of means you've got a bit of a cloudy window to look through. And so starting by healing yourself and then raising your frequency starts to create a path for you connecting in some other ways. But in a way, you know what? If you've got love and you've got the radiance from your heart, what else do you need? That's kind of enough to melt away the pain as well in itself. So the second thing that's coming up for you is maybe, I think we were talking about this earlier in the show, is on the top of your head there's an energy center called the crown chakra, and it's the center of knowingness. So you can place your consciousness there and know. So I'm also seeing that right now is an easy access point for you. First the heart and then the crown, in terms of just knowing your guides are there, knowing yourself, knowing, if you are having some kind of challenges in your life or in your marriage. I'm seeing those are the two things that are going to help you to know, number one, that you're okay, and number two, what to do next if action is required. Because you can feel in your heart the direction to flow, and you can know in your knowing what is the right direction for you. So I hope that helps, Jack. You're also welcome to connect with me outside of the show. I do lots of courses and classes on teaching people how to access their intuition and how to talk to their guides. There's actually an online course on my website all about that, so you can go check that out on drlesleyphillips.com. But like I said, for now, focus on your heart. It's a good It's an internal guidance system that looks like it's working well for you. Do we have one last question?
Yes, we do. And we're going to change it up if we're only doing one more. And this is from Isabel. And Isabel would like to know, trying now to discover how best to identify and release any karmic influences that are having a negative influence upon my existence at this time.
Okay. Let's take a look at Isabel's question.
Great question.
She's trying to find and release karmic influences. So, part of me wants to say why. She must be going through some kind of challenge that's making her think that it's caused by a karmic influence. So let's take a look at this lady's energy. Yeah, it looks like there's some kind of frustration going on with you about, things you want to accomplish or ways in which your life would go that it just seems to not go in the direction of what you're wanting. And so you're going, what is this block, and what's causing it? And I can't think of anything. It must be a past life kind of thing. So let's take a look. Is it a past life? And of course, it's always, you don't even need to go to karma and the past and a past life in order to heal any problem. You can, and it can help, and it can give you a different perspective. But there's always enough information just by looking in the current life to give you what you want. But let me just take a look and see what I can tell you. So, there is this, I'm seeing it like a block. It's like a black box. And it looks like it's stopping you connecting more deeply into this life. It's actually stopping you from grounding as well. And it says, I'm bad. I am bad. And if I'm bad, I do not deserve. I am bad and I do not deserve. And where is that coming from in the current life? It's coming from your childhood. It's coming from some, what might on the surface seem pretty innocent experiences as a child. Perhaps you were naughty and you didn't get your ice cream that day, But it's amazing how significantly some of these things can affect us and lay down beliefs that impact the rest of our lives. And so I would just say examine this life for the formative times, the first times that you ever remember feeling that way, or being told that you're bad and you do not deserve. And in knowing and seeing that, release it and let it go. It's not true. It's a moment in time that you have held on to and been creating your life through. So that's in the context of the current lifetime. Can I pick up on past lives that are kind of hooking in or bleeding into that? Let me see. And the answer to that is yes. And let me see if there's a few of them. I'll see if I can quickly get one before the end of the show to tell you about. I'm seeing that it's a lifetime in Europe, in the Middle Ages, and you were... I don't know whether you were a jailer, but you're in the role of somebody who's incarcerating some people, and I'm seeing that it's to do with the royalty, and it's to do with finding the heirs to the throne, which were 2 children, and locking them away and hiding them, perhaps even going beyond that to just making sure they weren't around anymore to inherit the throne, so that somebody else whose favour you sought or who was, paying you to be involved in this could ascend to the throne. And I'm seeing that it's something in that life you never forgave yourself for, and that you labeled yourself with, I am bad and I do not deserve. You know, if I can do such an abominable act, then I'll just punish myself for the rest of eternity. And, people don't like to hear this, but from a spiritual perspective, there's no good, there's no bad. There's just what we experience, what we create, and how we learn from it. We've all had lifetimes where we've gotten up to all sorts of things. And so, what the trick is, just let it go. It is not what is now. Love yourself in the now. Believe in yourself in the now. And it's really all you need to do. And from that point of love in the now, that reaches into every other aspect of your being and has a quantum of healing effect back into those lifetimes and forward and every other way. So on that note, gosh, we've come to the end of the show. And so,
How does that happen every week?
I don't know. So, you know what, guys? We're going to love you.
Thank you for joining us. You've been listening to another Unlocking Your Truth podcast by Dr. Lesley Phillips. For more information, go to our website at drlesleyphillips.com. That's drlesleyphillips.com, where you can ask questions or send her an email, and there's many free gifts on there for you as well. Come back again.